Hey YouTube, it's Matty J Mania. I'm going to do my top 15 rarest slash most expensive games. This is my video response to Gamester81's top 20 games. I really liked his video and he asked for responses, so this is mine. Before I get started, I'm going to just briefly say I'm going to kind of go over pretty much a game from every system I collect for, at least one. Not really any of the new current generation stuff, but pretty much everything from like GameCube on back is what I'm going to go through. And obviously once we get to Nintendo and Super Nintendo, that's what I really mainly collect, so there's going to be a little bit more in that. And we'll start off right away with GameCube. Here is Contra Force, and we're going to put this in my number 15 slot. This game's pretty rare. It's kind of hard to find, in addition to being valuable. I do have other like valuable GameCube games, but I decided to show this one because it's roughly about $100. I ended up getting it for $17.94. I don't know if you can see that there, but so that was a great deal. And that price I actually got that for it was not that long ago. And all the prices I'm going to give are not exact, so you can yell at me in the comments if you disagree with them, that's fine. But I'm basically basing them off of my own experience as well as eBay, Amazon, that kind of thing. They're basically all retail prices, so kind of just like a rough estimate. Moving on to my number 14 one, we have Mega Man Legends 2. For the PlayStation 1. This game is definitely hard to find. I am not the biggest fan of the Legends series for Mega Man, but this game, they are popular. Some people like them. You either love them or hate them, and I'm not really a fan of them. But this game is also, it's about a $100 game complete. Disc only for it's about $75-80 bucks. So that's my number 14 game. We'll jump into Nintendo 64 now. I have two games from my Nintendo 64 library I'll highlight. The first one is Ogre Battle 64. This game is a lot of fun. It's not very common. It's not impossible to find or anything like that. The condition on mine is actually like excellent. And I would say for one in this type of condition, it'll run you about $100. You can pick them up complete as low as $85. Card only, I'm not exactly sure. Probably like $40-50 bucks, something like that. It's also made by Atlas, who's one of my favorite publishers. So I'm excited to have that game. I think I got that game for around $50 complete, so I was pretty happy with that. It's maybe a year ago or so, something like that. And then we'll have my next one is a Nintendo 64 game that's blowing up. It's not really necessarily rare, but it's definitely super popular right now, and it's definitely influencing the price of the game. It's Conker's Bad Fur Day, and this is a complete copy. I think I got the copy complete. I pieced it together, and it cost me about 40 bucks. And nowadays, a complete copy is going to run you about 100 bucks again. I would say the cart, is between 40 and 60, depending on where you pick it up, how you pick it up. But this game's out there, and I think I scored mine for maybe like 10 bucks a while ago. So I would be optimistic and just like look for this game in the wild. Hopefully you'll find it that way. And now we are going to move on to my favorite system, the one that I collect for the most, and that is Super Nintendo. And I'm going to start off Super Nintendo. Pretty much every game I am going to have here is either rare or really fun. Or there's only one game that's actually not rare, but is just really valuable. And I'm sure you can guess what that is, and that's coming up. But the first one is Evo. And mine is cartridge only. This is actually one of those collector's cases, the clamshell. I ended up getting this game in a trade maybe a year ago or so. It's an RPG. It's really fun. It's different. You can basically evolve your fish. You're supposed to end with a human. I didn't, but I had a lot of fun with it, and this game is roughly, you know, if you pick one up for under $130, it's probably a good deal, because it can run you up about 150, 175, something like that. Then is Harvest Moon for Super Nintendo, the one that started it all for the Harvest Moon series, and it's arguably one of the better Harvest Moons. I'm not saying it's the best by any means, but it's definitely one of the better ones. They've kind of gone out there with the more recent ones. I'm not really a fan of the recent ones. And again, this one's cartridge only, and a cartridge is, again, it's going to run you about 160, 180 bucks, something like that. I think I got this one for around 100. I got it from a friend. It's in like great condition. I was happy at the time just based on the condition, and the price was right too. $100 isn't a horrible deal for that. Then this game is not common. Ninja Gaiden 3. I'm sorry, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. It has Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 from the Nintendo on it. Mine is a cartridge and box only. The box is a little beat up, but I ended up paying $40 for just the box, so I was pretty happy about that. For a cartridge box, it's going to run you about maybe $200, $250, somewhere in there, depending on the condition of the box and the cartridge. The problem is with these, a lot of the boxes are beat up, and a lot of the cartridges, like any like later in life or rare Super Nintendo game, have like rental stickers on them or had them on them, and they got torn off, so the label's torn. But all in all, the game's fun. It's a great way to get all 3 Ninja Gaiden games, although the cheaper way, of course, is to just pay for each game individually for the Nintendo, because Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo is much cheaper than that one. And I probably said Ninja Gaiden, whatever, bouncing back and forth. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. Then I'm going to do both of these at the same time. It's Mega Man X3 and Mega Man 7. These are both complete Mega Man X3 and 7 are going to run you around 300 or more. Cartridge only is going to be at least 100, if not a little bit more for the X3. A nice alternative to this, though, is you could just buy the Super Famicom one for about 20, 30 bucks, and then just mod your Super Nintendo, and you can essentially play the exact same game for much cheaper. So it is a nice, cheap alternative to still have a physical copy of the game and not pay an arm and a leg. I'm a big fan of Mega Man, so like I will collect anything Mega Man I can find, including like Super Famicom and Famicom carts. And I should say this is actually Rockman X3, so I don't get yelled at in the comments for that as well. And my second to last Super Nintendo game is Castlevania Dracula X. This game I was hunting for and looking for a very long time. Very happy when I finally got it. Complete copy of it can run you around 350 bucks, somewhere in there. You know, I'm not saying like every complete copy is going to cost you that much, but just like ballpark. And lastly, probably my favorite game of all time, and again, it's not that rare, but it's just super popular right now, is Earthbound. And as you can see, I have a complete Earthbound. My cartridge is in great condition, so is the manual, which is really the guide, and the box is in pretty good condition. There's some minor wear on it. A complete one of these in like decent condition is roughly about 600 bucks. The cart can kind of fluctuate between 150 to like 225. Really depends on what you're willing to pay. It's not that rare. It's just the demand for it's really high. People hoarding it, I don't know, but I will say this, compared to some games, the price tag on this game is justified, as far as like this game is an amazing game to play. I love it. It's probably my favorite game. Maybe not, maybe like Chrono Trigger or Link to the Past, something like that, but highly recommend Earthbound. It's a lot of fun. And lastly, my Nintendo games that are rare coming down the home stretch here. The first one is Zombie Nation, and you probably saw some of these on my NES collection video. Zombie Nation is definitely rare. As far as being fun, it is not. It's really not fun. I don't like it. But as far as being rare, like if you look on eBay, there's like 5 at the most at any given time. It's definitely hard to find. And it's going to run you anywhere from like $125 to $200, depending on who's selling what when. I think I got mine, I think I paid about $130 for mine shipped. And I was looking for it for a while, so I didn't really mind paying that, but it is a little pricey for kind of a crappy game. Next is Bubble Bobble Part 2. If you collect Nintendo games, I'm sure you know Bubble Bobble Part 2. It's definitely a rare game. It's definitely a pricey game. It's about, card only, it's about, you know, $250, somewhere in that range. You might be able to get it a little cheaper, depending on the condition. Mine's in really good condition. I got mine in a trade with a little bit of cash. I was super happy about it because this game was like the Nintendo game I was looking for a while. That has now become Little Samson, and that's my like it game, what I'm really going for, and I'm sure I'll have it someday, maybe, hopefully. Last 3, my top 3 rarest, most valuable. Number 3 is Contra Force. As you can see, I have Contra Force complete. Both the manual and game cartridge are in really good condition. I'm not going to take out all of these. You just got to take my word for it. The box itself is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of creasing and edge wear on it, but overall it's in good condition. And a complete one of these is roughly about $300. It's definitely expensive as far as being a complete game. Now cartridge only, maybe about $75, something like that. It is one of those games that's like kind of going up in price too, so who knows where it's gonna land eventually. And my number 2 is Bonk's Adventure, but I also have the manual for it too, and I ended up getting both of these together in like a big package. And if you saw my collection video, you'll know I paid $200 for like the entire lot, and it also had Gun Knack with the manual. Bonk's cartridge is gonna run you about $300 these days. The manual, I've seen the manual sell for $80 to $100, something like that. It's hard to find them both selling like as just cartridge and manual, but I would say it's about $400 for the cartridge and manual together, somewhere in there. And my last one, it is the gem of my collection, is Panic Restaurant. And Panic Restaurant, my buddy was lucky enough to find it, and he ended up trading it with me, Link to the Past Gaming from Nintendo Age. I was really happy to get it. Panic Restaurant is roughly about $350, give or take. It's pretty fun too. It's one of those games that's rare and fun. It's a Taito game. A lot of the late life games are Taito. It seems like they're either like Taito or Capcom, maybe Hudson Soft for the most part. But for a late life Nintendo game, it is a lot of fun. And that is my top 15 rarest / most expensive games that I have. I'm sure I do have some more rare games that are just cheap that weren't in this video, but I kind of also wanted to show off my more expensive, highly sought after games. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like my video with a thumbs up, subscribe. You can comment below, positive or negative comments. Thanks. Have a great day.